For a CA aspirant, should he or she be super intelligent in maths to crack CA?
Okay, again, whenever we talk about CA, many people feel that a chartered accountant is a mathematician. No, a chartered accountant plays with numbers, but he need not be a mathematician who is an expert in the algebra, trigonometry, all this differentiation, integration, nothing of that sort. What you need to know is the basic maths, and you need to be very comfortable with the basic numbers. Once you are done with that, then you can be a chartered accountant. You don't have to be a mathematician or very super intelligent in maths. But I would say at the first level, that foundation level, mathematics is a chapter, is a subject for your foundation exams. So you have to crack that. Once you have done with that, then what you need is the basic maths. That's all. So to answer to your question, you don't have to be a super intelligent in maths to become a chartered accountant.
I have also heard about this articleship scheme in CA course, especially Indian CA. Can you please explain that one?
Yeah, when it comes to Indian CA, the Indian CAs are in high demand even in India and outside India. One of the major reason for this high demand is the articleship training which Indian CAs undergo while they pursue their chartered accountancy course. Now, if you see the maybe like last year, till last year, all the chartered accountant students had to compulsorily undergo 3-year articleship training under a practicing chartered accountant. Now, the new scheme of syllabus, Indian CA syllabus has come from 2023 July onwards, and under that new scheme, this period of 3 years have reduced to 2 years. Okay, so even today, if you are joining for CA, you have to be mandatorily get trained under an Indian chartered accountant for 2 years. So it is like in other cases, whether you are taking an engineering or any other or LLB or whatever, you complete your study, then you work as a junior, you get expertise, then you take up independent works. But in Indian CA, while you study, you work as a junior under a practicing CA. And that's not for months, it's for 2 years. So you get to know what is in and out of CA or what a CA does. So the benefit of this is once you qualify, then from the next day onwards, you become employable. Any company or any person who hires you need not give you any special training to make you work in their corporate finance or in their accounting or finance department. So practical training or articleship training is a mandatory requirement for CA students, and in this requirement, every CA students who have completed the intermediate level have to register themselves under any practicing chartered accountant and work in that chartered accountant firm for 2 years like an employee. Okay, of course, you have your own curriculum for training and all those things are there. It is monitored by institute, but you have to compulsorily work under the CA for 2 years. And what you do in that 2 years is the real auditing and other taxation or accounting works. So you are getting practical exposure and practical training.
Okay. I have heard that if you are consistent about your like so-called hard work or whatever, like well planned and all, you can be a CA under the age of 21.
Yeah.
So from your experience, is it possible to be a CA before 21?
Yeah. So this is one of the most debated questions nowadays due to various reasons. So because very recently there was some objections in stating that a person can become a chartered accountant at the age of 21. There were chartered accountants themselves objecting to it. No, you can't become a chartered accountant at 21. But let me tell you, if you see the institute guideline, the minimum age to become member of the institute is 21. And if you are planned very properly and you don't lose any time in between, you clear all your exams in the first attempt, then it is possible to become a chartered accountant at the age of 21. And I myself has become a chartered accountant at the age of 21. Wow, there are many others also. Now, but when you are appearing for or when you are joining for CA, your objective, I would say your objective need not be or should not be to become a chartered accountant at the age of 21. Because for majority of the students, it might take a little more extra. But that doesn't matter. So it is possible to become a chartered accountant at the age of 21. But I would say that should not be the sole motive.
So ideally, how many years a student should dedicate for himself or herself to become a CA?
Now, I told you this is a 3-level program, and the institute has structured in such a manner that you can go to the next level only after you complete your the previous level. So if you are into foundation, only after you complete your foundation you can go to intermediate. Only after you complete your intermediate you can go to final. So by chance, if you are taking more attempts at any level, then you are stuck there and you can't simply go to the next level. So the number of years you might take to become a chartered accountant might vary depending upon how many attempts you take for cracking the examinations. But generally, if you spent 4 to 5 years, then that should be a very comfortable period for becoming a chartered accountant. Now I would say chartered accountants is a professional qualification. Now if you do a graduation, it eats 3 years, and if you do a PG or post graduation, again it's 2 years. So total you take anywhere 5 years for this. And becoming a chartered accountant is always regarded little higher than you completing your post graduation. So you can dedicate 5 years for becoming a chartered accountant. So I would say ideally 5 years.
Okay. I've also heard that there are students who have attempted for 10 times or maybe more. Why is it so?
There are many reasons to it. As you said, there are many students who fails to crack their exams in the first attempt, or even take multiple attempts to become to crack their various attempts. Now it's all linked with the difficulty level of the examination. Indian CA is a tough exam, and you need a very methodical strategic planning and preparation for cracking this examination. So if you fail in any of these aspects, then there is a high chance or high probability that you may fail for your exam. And there has been lots of instances where people are failing for multiple attempts. But I would say in most of the cases, taking 10 attempts and all will be mainly due to lack of focus. There are many people who write CA exam side by side of their any other major employment. Okay, in that cases, it might take. But otherwise, it is possible, very much possible, to crack the examination in maybe 1 attempt or 2 attempts or maximum 3 attempts. That's possible.
So, can you please touch upon the career options for a chartered accountant?
Okay. Now, once you have completed your CA final examination and you become a chartered accountant, there are various opportunities that awaits you. From your career perspective, you can either practice as a chartered accountant, or you can go for an employment, or you can go into academics, or you can even appear for civil services. You can be an entrepreneur. There are many options available to you, and under each of these options, let's say if you are willing to, or if you are planning to practice as a chartered accountant, you can specialize in various areas. You can specialize in auditing, you can specialize in taxation, you can specialize in corporate laws or business laws, or even if you go to employment, in employment also you have got various options like corporate finance, auditing, internal auditing, then taxation angles, then consultancy angles, analyst angles, financial analysis angles, like various options. So once you become a chartered accountant, I would say you will be having various opportunities to choose from. And trust me, selecting which is the most suited career path, that will be the difficult choice you'll have to make. Okay, and there are many students who choose one path and after a few years they come back to another one. That flexibility is also there with Indian CA. And talking about the areas where you can settle down, you will have ample opportunities within the state, outside the state, within India, or even abroad. Whether you take Middle East, Indian CA is regarded as one of the top qualification in finance and accounting. So it's in huge demand. Nowadays, even in developed nations like US, UK, Australia, Canada, in all these countries also, Indian CAs are regarded as and accounting and finance professionals, and that adds a lot of value to the profession. So the opportunities will be huge, and you can choose from a list of options, career options.
As a professional in the industry for the past 12 years, let me ask you, if not CA, what could be the option for the students?
Okay, now again, there are many reasons why a student have to take CA, or reasons for a student not to take CA. By chance, if you are not planning to take CA and you are a commerce student, you have various options available before you. Now gone are those days where if you are a good student, your only option left you with was medicine or engineering. Now I think the trend is more towards commerce. Now in commerce, you can, if not CA, you can choose company secretaryship CS, or you can becoming CMA, certified or chartered management accountant. All these three qualifications are recognized in India and are given by an institute, a body, regulatory body set up by an act of parliament. CA, CS, CWA. Now we will take what a CS does or CMA does in a separate discussion. I'm not touching up that. Now that is from Indian perspective. Now if you want to take international degrees, we touched upon ACCA. It is a good finance qualification, and if you want to settle in different countries, then subject to the conditions, you can take up CPA, or you can take ACA in UK. You can take CPA in different countries like Australia, UK, US, Ireland, many, Canada, etc., etc. And you have CIMA, certified certified Institute of Management Accounting, US qualification. Then you have a qualification called CFA. Then you can take up the qualification like CIA, certified internal auditors. So all these certifications, both international as well as national qualification, come under one umbrella. Okay, now if you want to take a deviation from finance and accounting, then you can opt for MBA. Again, MBA is also one of the major areas sought by commerce students, where even finance specialization is there, then other areas of specialization is also possible. Now I have seen many commerce students who takes up LLB after CA. So that is also a very good options nowadays. Then if you want to get into teaching, then you can do your graduation, post-graduation, then you can complete your MPhil, PhD. That route is also available. Then those who wants to get into civil service, commerce is also give you a lot of options, because BCom, commerce is one of the optional subjects for civil service, I understand. Then if you want to have specialized professions like actuaries, it's one of the qualification which is less talked about in the country, but most rewarded as well as most satisfying career, which you can, but of course a very challenging qualification. If you want to be into that, you can opt for actuarial science. Then various other international qualifications nowadays, it's also available. So these are the major qualifications which you can think about. But if you want to get into a professional degree and you want to settle in India, I would first recommend CA or CS or CWA. That's it.
So I hope many of the queries of parents as well as the students aspiring for CA has been cleared over here. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. My pleasure.